The fact is, you're not actually addicted to smoking cigarettes at all. But what you're really addicted to is your body's unconscious, conditioned response to those cigarettes. You see, when you smoke, you're in a trance-like state, like you're in auto drive, where you can easily just override the natural disgust of tobacco, nicotine. You know that moment when you've just had a cigarette and you didn't even realise that you've just had one, or you've just put one out and then you've got to light another one up. Let me explain. It all starts with the first one. The first time that you had one, and chances are when you remember that, if you really, really think back and remember, you'll probably discover that you probably didn't have a great experience at all. You might have felt grown up, depends when you started, or maybe it's a little bit like a rebel, but your actual body had a whole moment of feeling sick and dizzy, disgusting taste in your mouth, an awful smell up your nose, probably coughing, maybe he's feeling sick, dizzy, and that's of course the actual effect that smoke has on people. And that's because cigarettes have all kinds of unnatural chemicals in them. And it's pretty obvious now, we know it's not good for us, but there was a time when people were told that it was good for them, and some of those elements are still stuck, like the idea that it reduces stress. And because of the value that we put on smoking, the belief that we'll be more grown up, or sophisticated perhaps, or accepted by our peers, we bypass a lot of the actual pain that's caused to the body. So your body's response with that first cigarette would have been to go into an unbelievable level of torment and pain. And what happens is, usually if you stick with it, pretty soon you find your body going, okay, you win. This is what's going to happen. If this person's going to keep on putting all of this poison inside this body, let's at least make them feel comfortable. So your body will aim to make you as comfortable as possible when you experience any kind of repetitive pain or discomfort or poisoning. And how does it do that? Well, it releases endorphins. Endorphins are your body's natural pain relievers. They're your natural mood stabilizers. They already exist inside the body. And because the body releases these endorphins, when the poison of the cigarette enters your body, you don't feel so bad. Each time you have a cigarette, the body releases even more endorphins, and again, you don't feel nearly as bad. Each and every time, your body releases more and more endorphins until there can be a point where you could be smoking a cigarette, but the moment when you even put the cigarette to your lips, before you've even lit that thing up, the body releases surge of emotions of endorphins, and that's when you're experiencing that sense of relaxation, that relief of tension inside the body, even before you've lit the thing up. It's one of the biggest lies of cigarettes or vapes. It's actually the moment where your body's natural relaxation response is being hijacked by a cigarette. You see, you already have the ability to relax all on your own. It's a skill that you already have. The only thing is, you've been smoking for so long, what's happening is that your body is actually saving up all of these endorphins until you have that next cigarette. It's waiting for that moment to protect you. To protect you during that moment of poisoning so that you don't feel the effects that are really going on inside. That's how amazing your body is. It will alleviate pain for you to get you through it as comfortably as possible. And because your body is saving those endorphins, because your body wants to make sure that you're still going to be okay, when you have that old cigarette, you're not going to go into that state of feeling dizzy, maybe he's vomiting or coughing and spluttering, all of that kind of stuff. That's basically the endorphins at work for you, They are doing their best at protecting you. It's their job. That's what your body needs to do. Even though you've been putting all this poison in there, you're still going to be okay. Now, it's questionable whether in the long term you're still going to be okay, because there's lots of people, as you know, they get all kinds of cardiovascular disease, COPD, lung cancers and so on. However, it's very interesting that nobody has ever died from giving their body some breathing space and quitting smoking. And the great thing is about you is that the endorphins are already there inside of you. You already have millions of ways to get endorphins released into your body so that you can feel great without cigarettes. Think about this. When you go to the shop and you have to hand over your money to get your packet of cigarettes or your vape or your baccy so that you can smoke it to get the endorphins that you already have, they already exist inside your body. I spoke to a lady this week who told me she was looking into hypnosis to help her stop smoking, but she wasn't sure it would be worth it due to the cost. She said she couldn't afford to quit. So I asked her, how much do you spend a day on cigarettes? And she said, well, I don't spend that much, I only spend £5 a day. I know they're a bit more than that. So I said, okay, let's times that by 7 days a week, there's £35 spent already. Let's times that by a month, there's £140. Let's times that month over the year, and you've already spent £1,680 in 12 months on that little white stick that you put in your mouth. However, she's actually been smoking for at least the past 20 years, spending around £5 a day, which I know a lot of cigarettes are much more expensive than £5, but if my maths is correct, she spent £33,600 on cigarettes, and here she was worrying about the cost of a Hypnosis Stop Smoking programme. I can guarantee you, whoever you choose to help you quit smoking, it's not going to cost you £33,000 of your hard-earned cash. That just seems completely ridiculous, right? But people actually do that. In many cases, it's because there's positive intention behind that habit of smoking, and that part of that positive intention is a big reason why you might have found it challenging to quit up until now. And it's because of that endorphin release. That is what you're addicted to. Those endorphins being released when you feel stressed, when you're frustrated, upset. I mean, who doesn't want that, right? But there's got to be a better way. It's not the cigarette, it's not the nicotine, it's your body's response to that habit. And your body's response to that behaviour of putting that little white stick in your mouth is to release endorphins so that you don't experience the real pain of it, the real pain of your body being poisoned. It's the endorphins, the chemical release in the brain and body. That's what makes you feel good. Just take that away for one moment. Take those endorphins away completely. Imagine your body's response to the tobacco and the smoke without the protection from the endorphins. Oh my God, you'd be a right mess. You'd be coughing, spluttering, be awful. Like when you sit in front of a fire and the smoke blows right in your face, you have to turn and get up and move or something. Sometimes you'll get the tough guy who tries to sit it out and wait for the wind to change direction, but you can see they're not breathing properly, they're holding their breath, their eyes are watery, right? I mean, you'd be a mess just after one puff. Now, the fact that you're still watching this video means that you are ready to start your journey to becoming a non-smoker, to make that change towards a healthier, longer life. Simply click the link below, and it's where I'll send you some brief forms to fill in, as that's going to help me to help you get the best out of this process. And we'll get together on a call and have a quick chat so that we can get you started on your smoke-free journey right away, so that you can not only save yourself a pretty large amount of money, but also to become healthier, stronger and fitter, more than you might have felt in a long time. I'm Amy Cinnamon. Thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you very soon.